the final day of the 2026 spring UPSL season, and for these two clubs, today is the end of the season, but there's one more game to go. Hybrid FC looks to just get at least 1 point to end the campaign against a Maryland Bobcats side, who look to add on to their 4-point tally. These two clubs last faced off against each other back on April 29th, where Maryland won 3-1 in Laurel, thanks to goals from Ebenezer Abraha, Israel Abdullah, and Alexander Tsefe. Looking at the table, all 4 of the playoff spots have been locked in the DMV North. It's just a matter of seeding at this point. Boley's Athletic enters with 22 points and a 2-point lead over MSI Pro, who sit in second place. As it stands, if MSI Pro win and Boley's can only muster a draw tonight, then goal differential will be the tiebreaker, and as of now, that is in Boley's hands. But if MSI Pro wins and Boley's drops all 3 points to Bridge Sports Club tonight, then MSI Pro will be the regular season champs of the DMV North. Speaking of Bridge, they currently are tied on 15 points with Moco 1776 FC, but have the goal differential tiebreaker. So unless Bridge lose tonight and Moco win, or if both draw in their respective matches, Bridge will be the 3 seed and Moco will be the 4. Maryland Bobcats enter with 4 points, Hybrid with none, so this match is strictly for pride. For a final time this season, welcome to the campus of Hammond High School in Columbia, Maryland, and welcome to our coverage on DMV Sports Media. Alongside my cameraman, Donna Wallace, my name is Josh Sager. We are so happy to have you with us wherever you may be. Starting 11s look like this, beginning with Hybrid FC coach Bruno Taj lines his club up this way. Elijah Wormley will be back in the net. He works behind a 4-3-3, which is anchored by their usual center-back pairing of Oliver Rivas and Hunter Hillis, with Pierre Corneille on the right side and Obi Ekeagwu on the left. The midfield trio will consist of Gio Serrano, who is making his season debut, and he works with Jason Astudillo and Kevin Santos in the midfield. Reggie Gaynor and Nisi Brown will work as the wings, with the sole striking option being Rennie Carbajal. Coach Alex Cow lines up his Maryland Bobcats FC in a 3-4-3. Former University of West Alabama Tiger Austin Salazar is in net. The 3-man backline will feature Ben Dunkerley, Derek Jossian, and Ryan Lim. The midfield consists of Abraha, the aforementioned Abraha, Ferdinand Bourgeois, William Cohen, and Juan Nunez. Finally, Ethan Hayward, Mohit Nigam, and Adam Yatribi will be the attacking options. That's all you need to know to get you started on a hot day. The summer season has not officially begun, but the summer season is going to, but the unofficial start to summer, which is the turning of the calendar to June and the heat starting to rise up here in the DC area. It's going to get a little bit more difficult to somewhat be outside for the next few weeks. The humidity here, for those of you who are not familiar with the DC metro area, the humidity around here gets quite intense and can get unbearable at times too. Thankfully for us, it was very hot earlier when we first got here, but thankfully the clouds have started to settle in and there's been a little bit of a breeze, which is quite helpful to have around here. We are expecting also, we do have a bit of rain in the forecast. There were severe storms on the way. I think, though, those are not going to be here probably around till like 9:30 p.m. So long after this match is over. The teams line up and are going to head out to the center of the pitch for one last time in the regular season. Hybrid is coming off a 3-1 loss at the hands of MSI Pro last week. Meanwhile, for Maryland Bobcats, they are also coming off of a loss over last weekend. Just about set to go here. Just waiting for the teams to get out of their huddles and into their formations before we can kick off. Maryland, as we mentioned earlier, Maryland only has 4 points. Their only win came against this hybrid side back at the end of April. And only one of those goal scorers is on the pitch to start this game off today, and that is Ebenezer Abraha. Will be hybrid to kick us off. Just waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. Rennie Carbajal is in the center circle along with Nisi Brown. Whistle blows and we are underway on the final match day of the Spring 2026 UPSL season. DMV North Conference action, Hybrid FC going from left to right on your screen in the green and white. Maryland Bobcats in the gold and black. Almost the same exact color as the Maryland flag. There's going to be one thing that we're going to be looking at here. Hybrid FC actually played quite admirably against MSI Pro before just being outpowered by them in that first half of play. They can maybe get some of that attacking prowess on that they had last week. They're going to have a good night tonight. Meanwhile, Maryland is also going to need to get on the attack. These are two of the leakiest defenses, actually the two leakiest defenses in the DMV North. Foul called against Maryland. Free kick taken quickly by Oliver Rivas. It goes back to Serrano. Josh Sager, Donna Wallace, thrilled to have you along for the ride. As that one is crossed over to the outside. Not the cleanest pass there. And Maryland's just going to send it right back to their goalkeeper, Austin Salazar. True veteran of this team, much older than most of the guys on this team. A lot of them are actually members of the youth team for Maryland Bobcats, one of the top soccer academies in the Montgomery County region. So that's going to go out of play. Throw-in coming up here for Hybrid, or for Maryland actually. Yeah, initially on that, I thought that went off of a member of Hybrid, but it went. As I mentioned last week, Hybrid lost 3-1 on the road at Einstein High School in Kensington. Meanwhile, Maryland Bobcats were not able to pull away with a win. They actually played Bowley's Athletic very well at home last week, but they did ultimately lose 2-1 to the team that is currently in first place. And a foul called here against Serrano. Dunkerley. The middle, gets it back to the Brit. Ben Dunkerley out of the UK. Trying to send one forward, impeded by Hunter Hillis. Not the best decision there, and a foul committed by Hybrid's number 11. That's Kevin Santos, and he's already getting a talking to from the referee. Free kick taken short there by Ferdinand Bourgeois. Good backheel pass there. And the setup from Adam Yatribi is going to not be rewarded, as that one's going to go out of play. Just waiting for the ball to come back into play. It did go outside of the racing track here. We do have a track and field tracker around the stadium. So we could be waiting a couple more minutes if any ball goes truly out of the way. Yatribi's shot is going to go over the net. This is already a really nice start for Maryland. Coach Alex Cow has been with this Maryland Bobcats side through the transition of going into UPSL after they were in NISA in 2024 and then got inexplicably disqualified from the NISA Cup playoffs in 2024, having the best record. Free kick to be taken here. It's going to be Bouge. No, it's not. It is going to be taken short to the outside. Stolen away. That free kick, by the way, taken by Abraha. Outside to Reggie Gaynor. Nice through ball, but it's impeded by Ryan Lim. Outside. And offside here for Maryland Bobcats. Oliver Rivas to the outside. Santos was not able to fully control that Bourgeois with a throw-in. Chested down here, Yatribi to the outside. Shot taken by Hayward, and that's going to go parried away there by Wormley, but instead it's just going to be offside. Already we've got some complaints here from Obi Ekeagwu to the referee. He is going to be the captain today, it seems. So Wormley takes the goal kick and is just going to go short to Rivas. Serrano got it to Santos, and it's now repossessed by Gio Serrano. Nice move, and now the ball is under the foot of Derek Jossian. Here's Lim. Excuse me, that's Jossian. Almost given away there. Lim to Dunkerley. Oh, really nice steal there. Carbajal gets it back. Here's Reggie Gaynor. It takes a deflection, and Austin Zalazar's going to claim it, but flag did go up here on the near side anyway. Reggie Gaynor seems to be a bit confused about who was the one offside. I don't think it was him. I think it might have been Carbajal on the initial pass when it was set up. Here is Ethan Hayward. At least he was the one who the pass was intended for from Juan Nunez, and another player now is down for Hybrid. Trying to figure out who that is. And he is holding, whoever it is holding his knee. I believe that might be Pierre Corneille that is down. And we do have a stoppage of play, and the trainer does have to now go out to check in on Pierre Corneille. Or now. And it's not a good sign because I don't think there was any contact there. And they're stretching out. Maybe it's just a cramp. Don't want to speculate, but never a good sign to see the trainer out. Good news is it looks like Corneille is going to be able to continue. But he will have to go to the side because there is that rule of you have to wait a few minutes or a couple minutes if it's not a head injury for them to check you out, and you have to have your team down to 10 men. So for the time being, Hybrid will be down to 10. So it's going to be a drop ball, and Wormley is just going to have to kick it into the middle. And that was not the cleanest of touches there in the middle by Juan Nunez. Throw in here. Bourgeois goes back to Jossian. Goes back to his keeper. And to the outside for Lim. There's going to be one way that Hybrid is going to be able to expose this Maryland side. It seems that they're going to really need to use the outside channels because Maryland is definitely looking to stay inside, clumped up more towards the middle. E.C. Brown couldn't get there, and it's cleared away, only as far as Corneal. Through ball. Oh, good back peel by Serrano. Cross comes into the mixer. Shot taken by Santos, and that would have been a very nice goal on quite an audacious effort, but Salazar had it lined right to him as Hunter Hillis heads away the clearance. Rivas, only as far as Bourgeois. Oh, really nice kick. And offside on that play is Nunez. Excuse me, Nunez was the one who crossed that in. Looks like Yatribi was the one off. Hayward. Cross. Oh, good job to let it loose. Lim tried to get in on the attack, and he is impeded by Corneal. And that's going to go out of play now for Hybrid FC. And we will have a substitute, actually. Nick Pizzoki is coming on, so it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Pierre Corneal, potentially. Yeah, so Pizzoki is on now. Yeah, and Pierre Corneal is still, like, over in the corner right now, just holding on to his knees. So Nick Pizzoki, that is a substitution, obviously, that nobody wants to make, but especially this early. From behind, and ooh, that was not the best challenge there on Rennie Carbajal. That foul was, by the way, called against William Cohen. Long ball forward on the free kick there by Ekeagwu. It's going to find Kevin Santos. It goes out of play and was off the foot of Santos as a throw in here for Hybrid. For Maryland, if they want to really make something happen, they've got to work on the counter. It's the only way that these days that, speaking of that, here comes the counter by Ethan Hayward, and Wormley almost was on the highway to the danger zone there by being that far out, especially because if Hayward gets past him, that's an open net and an easy tap in for the young forward for the Bobcats. Rivas. Santos. Blocked by Bourgeois. No foul committed. It's a throw-in for Hybrid. Clouds are starting to darken a little bit. Again, we aren't expecting any rain for this forecast here, as we are 15 minutes in. Carbajal pushed from behind, and now he is grabbing his knee. He might have taken a stud to the knee by accident. There's no malice in that. But a set piece coming up here for Hybrid. And he is down, but now is going to get back up. I believe that foul might have been committed by Juan Nunez. And Carbajal is going to be the one to take this free kick. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go short and get it out to get it over to Obieke Agwu. Or Reggie Gaynor, excuse me. Cross is going to come in. It's an in-swinging ball. Not the best clearance there by Jossian, but it does the job, and it's going to be out of play. So no harm, no foul for Maryland. It's going to be a throw-in that will be taken here by Rivas. I'm a bit surprised that Oliver Rivas is this high up. We're usually seeing him as the deep option for hybrid here as for the center backs. Jossian clears it. It was offside. That is off the body of a Maryland defender, I believe off of Lim's body. And it's going to be a throw-in now for Hybrid, who have been now in control of this game, I'd say, for the entirety, except for maybe the first 3 minutes. Nisi Brown. Out of play, off of the foot of William Cohen and out for a corner. First corner of the night. Serrano with the in-swinging ball, and it's just wide, I think, out in front of the foot of Oliver Rivas. That is the exact kind of ball that you want on those kinds of corners, especially since Austin Salazar wouldn't have been prepared for it in the slightest. Santos was pulled down, no foul called against Cohen. To the outside, Gaynor was not prepared for that through ball, and as a result, it's going to go out for an easy goal kick here for Maryland. Still 0-0 between these two sides that are just playing for pride at this point. Last day of the season, and both are well out of the playoff race. Hayward heads it back down. Yatribi tried to get it to the outside here for Nunez, and it's going to be a free kick for Maryland. Got a good crowd actually over on the far side stands. I'm not going to lie there. My cameraman Dono here just said more than usual off in the distance. And I get it. It's a nice day. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit. There's a nice breeze. First day maybe for many for summer, since a lot of high school graduations have gone on. Kick taken by Yatribi. Short. Here's a shot deflected into a body. That shot taken by Mohit Nigam. It will be out of play for a throw-in for the Bobcats. I really do like that idea, though, trying to, because everyone expects when you're from that distance to just take it directly, but they've decided here to just go on the ground and maybe threaten from there. Oliver Rivas wasn't able to get rid of it. Pizzoki also not able to dispose, but it's finally cleared only as far as the defenseman Cohen. Switching the field now to Bourgeois. Here's Nunez. Got Rivas on him, centering in the middle of the pitch for Abraha. Goes back to the Colombian. Abraha from behind. He is pickpocketed by Carbajal. Now something maybe building here for Hybrid. Serrano. This decides to go back to his goalkeeper. By the way, Randy Salvador is on. It seems that Jason Astudillo must have done something to injure him. That's a last-minute change that we were not made aware of, but Randy Salvador is on, not Jason Astudillo. I was wondering why the numbers 8 and 3, why it was number 8 and not number 3 for Hybrid FC. So That will help me explain my confusion a little bit, but good to know. Throw in taken by Ryan Lim. Got open space here, and Abraha decides to use that. Nunez tried to switch the field out of the reach of Yatribi, but it does find a teammate. Cohen switches the field for Nunez. He's got some open space. Nunez is onside. Rivas was looking for the flag to go up. Nunez trying to center one. He'll take a shot. That's going to go wide of the net, but not a bad effort at all. Maybe just if it had a little bit more bend on it, that's going in. And nothing Wormley can do to save that, but not a bad effort there by Juan Nunez. Dispossessed, given away. Here's a chance for Maryland, but it's intervened with by Randy Salvador. So Hybrid gets a lucky break. Almost gave it away immediately to Nunez there, but that's going to go out of play. Maryland throw-in coming up, and it will be taken by Ethan Hayward. Excuse me, by Ebenezer Abraha, who gives it over to Ferdinand Bourgeois. Abraha. Good through ball to Kevin Santos. He is way onside. Santos, he is all alone. He's got no support. He crosses one in. Nisi Brown! Well, that's the start that Hybrid needed. And that's also just a perfect setup by Kevin Santos. As soon as he was open with that much space, you figured that he was going to be at least providing something on in terms of a goal contribution. And right there, fantastic setup and the speed of Nisi Brown. That's now 2 weeks in a row for a goal for him with a goal. So a 1-0 lead for Hybrid, and they are now, as it stands, going to be out of the basement with. Well, not out of the basement, but they will now have points on the board as long as they hold on for dear life. Again, they are coming into this match with no points. And in the 22nd minute, they're now up 1-0 over the Maryland Bobcats, the only team that that Maryland Bobcats lost to or beat this season was Hybrid, and that was back in late April. And Maryland looking to respond right away. Here's Adam Yatribi or Mohit Nigam. Great block by Hunter Hillis on the breakaway. Nigam looked like he was going to respond just immediately. But Hunter Hillis said, not in my house. And now Reggie Gaynor has a chance. He's open. He's on the break. Gaynor. He's got Carbajal in the middle, cuts it back. Gaynor takes a shot. It's going to find Carbajal. What a save by Salazar. The flag was up anyway. It wouldn't have counted. Through ball now, and here is a chance for Abraha. He's got Hayward in the middle. Abraha getting it to Hayward. Ethan Hayward! Oh, wow, how did he miss that? The net was wide open. Wormley was off his line, and Ethan Hayward somehow found a way to botch that past the side netting. So this match remains 1-0, but immediately Hybrid cannot fall asleep because Maryland Bobcats are looking to pounce. Rivas, these short goal kicks are going to potentially be a massive mistake, in my opinion, for Hybrid, because if Maryland pounces on these once, that could probably end up in the back of the net. Hayward spins around, tried to get it to Yatribi. Wasn't able to do so. Cohen. Here's Ben Dunkerley. Salazar is going to regain possession. Pickpocketed by Santos. Here's Nisi Brown, the goal scorer. Brown is going to try from far, but that's also going to go far from the net. I think now that he's gotten one goal, he's starting to feel a little bit more confident in himself today. Wouldn't be surprised if he takes a few more shots from out there. Dunkerley with the push from behind of Brown. Gathered up by Maryland. Here's Abraha. Native of Bowie, Maryland. Here's Hayward. He's got a chance on the break. Is he going to get it this time? And it's blocked by Wormley again. Ethan Hayward is going to have a goal at some point tonight, it seems. He's just gotten super unlucky. Serrano runs into Cohen. And Gaynor is going to pinball that right to the Gary, Indiana native Salazar. Dunkerley. The Brit from Pace University, and now a chance for Nigam, but he is offside. This game has started to open up a bit, I think, quite quickly it did. Both teams are getting really good shooting opportunities. Only one of them, though, has found the back of the net, and that was Nisi Brown's. And as it stands right now, Hybrid will get not just their first point of the season, but their first 3 of the season. They don't have a win nor a draw. It's been all losses so far this season for Bruno Taj's men. Cloud cover-up is starting to show up here. Although now it's starting to say that there is rain in the forecast starting in the next 14 minutes. Let's hope that those thunderstorms really don't do much damage here. Reggie Gaynor spins around. Inlet pass for Nisi Brown. It's gathered up by Salazar. So again, we are expecting some rain potentially in the next 10 minutes. Serrano. High in the air, and it's regathered by Gaynor. He's not able to tow it down cleanly. Jossian and Nunez are battling for it. Not the best pass there. And a throw-in here for Hybrid, taken by Santos. Salvador to the outside, Pazzoki. Nice backheel pass. Cross comes in, but it's going to be directed right at the goalkeeper from the Bobcats. He's going to take a long kick out, and it's going to find Juan Nunez, who chests it down, but Hunter Hillis is able to intervene. Serrano. Santos has to go back to Wormley. You just saw some lightning in the distance. That might not be the best sign. Out wide from Serrano. That one did go out of play before it got to the foot of Carbajal. Got dark quite quickly here. When we first got here about an hour ago, it was sunny as heck, and now it's starting to look like we're about to get some severe storms around the Columbia area. Dunkerley switching the field for Nunez, who is onside the Colombian, but he is going to lose out possession to Kevin Santos. Serrano. Carbajal could not keep it in play. That one just crossed over the line. Yeah, we are definitely seeing some lightning flashes. We're seeing some lightning flashes over to the goal, over behind the goal to the left. I'm wondering how much longer they are going to have this game be played until, because conditions are going to potentially deteriorate soon. I think it was smart of both of us to, of the two of us, Dono and I, to be bringing our umbrellas. Long ball forward, intended for Nigam, but it's cleared away. And again, we did expect severe storm, so I wonder how much longer the ref is going to allow for play to continue before they decide to either delay this match or to cut it a bit shorter than it should be. Nunez. Oh, and he's fouled from behind by Brown. Foul called against Brown, and he is going to be shown yellow after the dissent shown to the fourth official. Cloud cover is really starting to play a factor here now. Ben Dunkerley. To the outside, here's Juan Nunez who's onside. Nunez cutting one across. He's going to try to curl one in, and I think that might have been an intended pass to set someone up, but it just didn't get to anybody's foot. As you can probably hear through the mic, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. And again, I wonder how much longer they're going to be playing this game for because of the fact that this rain is expected to come here. This is kind of a bit of a shock because of the fact that there was no rain forecasted until like around 9:30 p.m. tonight here in this area. So this has come out of nowhere. Santos with the wind picking up. Nisi Brown couldn't fully control that, and it's going to be out of play off of him. He's claiming that it went off of Bourgeois. And Brown's already got to be careful. He's already got a yellow card, which he just received a few minutes ago. The tent that Maryland Bobcats have set up is starting to move a little bit because of the wind. And the people in the stands on the other side have already started to move. And it looks like they are going to pause this game for the time being due to these storms that we are about to have here in Columbia. They're saying, get off the field, get off the field. So we don't know how long this delay is going to be. But we are going to be in a bit of a rain delay for the time being. We hope you stay with us here on DMV Sports Media. 1-0 for Hybrid FC. Sorry about that. We are going to get this game back and underway after a rain delay that lasted, I don't know, a good 40 minutes or so. We stopped in the 32nd minute due to heavy rain in the forecast as well as lightning and thunder. But thankfully the sun is shining and we did see some rainbows. So we are going to get set. I mean, Dorothy and Toto probably are a bit farther than here for now because we did see somewhere over the rainbow a little bit more rain, but it seems that has passed by. So joining us back, we are at the 33rd minute entering that before we go into halftime. I wonder how that's going to affect stoppage time because of how long we were out for. So we're going to start in the 33rd minute. Currently, Hybrid is up 1-0, and that would be, as it stands, their first 3 points of the season. This is Josh Sager, and my cameraman Dono Wallace are very happy to know that you stayed with us through that rain delay. And thankfully, we will also not have a light delay as that one's given away here. Nick Pizzoki could immediately punish Maryland here. Pizzoki, good block off the line by William Cohen, but it's going to go out already for a corner kick for Hybrid here to restart the first half. And the corner will be taken by Salvador, but the good news is that there will also not be a light delay as we have had here in the past. Salvador to take this corner. In swinging ball in. Palmed away. I wonder if Salazar got a hand to it, and they're saying he did not, and it's going to be a goal kick. I personally thought that Austin Salazar got a hand to that. And we can hear on the sideline Pierre Cornel say, hey, ref, the keeper touched it. Sounds like Hunter Hillis is now going to be getting a talking to from the referee. But these are some valid complaints here. I genuinely did think that Austin Salazar got a hand of that. Referee disagrees, so we're going to follow that point of view. Oh, it looks like maybe they're saying that somebody hit it with their hand for Hybrid. It's at least because the ref was pointing. I don't know if you saw it. The ref was pointing to the bicep area. So Dunkerley is going to launch a long ball forward. It was intended for Hayward. Headed back down by Gio Serrano. About 12 minutes to go plus stoppage. I could imagine we're going to be getting a healthy amount of stoppage time because of this weather delay. But I will say this, though. The weather is not as hot, but it's so great out. The only problem, though, is the humidity out here is a little bit tough to deal with. So hopefully anybody watching here on YouTube is in the beautiful comfort of air conditioning. Jossian, and that ball out to Bourgeois was out of play, and it's a throw in here for Hybrid. This is going to be taken by Santos. Decides to go back into the middle for Serrano, who hits a sky-scraping ball up in the air. Regained by Reggie Gaynor. Coach Cow on the side here has told his team to start warming up. They only just got back onto the field about 5 minutes before a kickoff, so. And Hybrid was under, because we're right next to the baseball field. I'll get back to this in a second, as here comes Randy Salvador. Lost possession. Here at Hammond High School, to the left of the screen, behind us is the baseball field, and according to my cameraman, the majority of the Hybrid squad was inside of one of the dugouts. Here's Juan Nunez. Gonna try to cross one in. I think that was intended for Hayward, but it was nowhere near his head, and it's gonna be out for a goal kick for Jairo Caceres, or excuse me, Elijah Wormley. Good news is that it looks like the cloud cover has cleared as well, so we should be able to get the rest of this game in on time, just a bit later than most expected. Taken short again, and Hunter Hillis is just going to have to move it to Oliver Rivas, and he had to be careful because right on him was Hayward, but it's just going to go out of play, but it will be a Bobcats throw-in. Nice cut inside here from Nunez. Gets it across and a shot and a goal. Ethan Hayward levels the match, and now it's only 1 point as it stands for Hybrid. Maryland is currently at 5. And the way that that thing was set up there by Adam Yatribi, was just fantastic. He had to get around his defender there. And the way he was able to sneak past and get that ball across and just get Hayward to one-time it in is just excellent. So it's now 1-1. And Hybrid's hopes of taking not just 1 but 3 points are dwindling a little bit. That one goes out of play, and now Maryland, it seems, has just had a complete momentum shift, all in the snap of a finger. Bourgeois, throw in is taken over by Gaynor. It's going to be out for another throw in. I don't think that went out for a sec. Yeah, my cameraman here just said he doesn't think it went out either, but to the discretion of the referees, Bourgeois goes back to Jossian, and that was a bad mistake. Actually, it went off the foot of Gaynor. Bourgeois decides to just go back to Derek Jossian. Goes to the Brenton Dunkerley out of Pace University up in New York City. Not far from New York, excuse me. It's in Pleasantville, which is it's a bit north of the city. Speaking as a alum of Hofstra University on Long Island, so I know the area a little bit well. It's going to be out of play. Throw-in coming up here, which will be taken by Ferdinand Bourgeois. Abraha. That says that Abraha apparently got a touch, and it is going to go out for a throw-in. Yatribi just goes back to Cohen. Here's Dunkerley. Not the best pass because it was immediately lost. Switching the field, that was not the wisest decision by Nisi Brown, and it's going to go out of play for a throw-in for Maryland, and pretty good opportunity for maybe a counterattack to start here. Well, it was a good opportunity, but it seems that Bourgeois took a bit too long and was able to get Hybrid's defenders to recover all the way back. Dunkerley. Through ball forward, intended for Hayward, a bit too far. On the intended pass there. Jossian. Abraha stayed alive with it somehow, but it's just going to go to Rivas, who gets it to his co-center back Hillis. Pizzoki turns on the Jets, and now Brown with a chance to really make Salazar pay. Salazar gets it off in plenty of time. Nice! Ankle breaker there from Jossian, but he is not going to have his pass received by Bourgeois. Salvador hits it. No, it actually went off the foot of Abraha, and it's going to be out for a throw-in for Hybrid. This game has definitely been very open in terms of the attack. Just been a matter of missing a lot of open opportunities as Nisi Brown commits a foul on top of Derek Jossian. Actually, they're going to just call this a throw-in. Hayward into the middle. Almost a mistake, but Cohen is able to regain. Outside. Oh, nice cross pass from Nunez here over on the near side. Gets around his defender, but is immediately dispossessed by Santos. Given away, Nunez regains possession. Cohen, oh, that was a bit too hard of a pass to Hayward. here in the 43rd minute. Should get a pretty good amount of stoppage time. In a match that Maryland just leveled. Sun is starting to shine a little bit. Long ball forward for Santos, but it's going to be met first by Bourgeois, who goes back to his goalkeeper, and Salazar almost let that one sneak past him. He's able to recover nicely. Not the best clearance. Brown was not able to shimmy his way through. That one into the back of Nisi Brown, and that's going to go out for a goal kick for Austin Salazar. Coach Cow's team has done very well coming out of this break, especially considering they really didn't have much time to warm up after this rain delay. Bourgeois. Log sending through ball, and Yatribi was not able to get to that. So here's Pizzoki for Hybrid, who came on for Pierre Corneille. Corneille came off earlier in the match due to an injury that just was lingering after it initially happened, and the substitution had to be used a little bit earlier than I think most of Hybrid would have wanted. And they're going to call a foul on Nisi Brown here, and he is furious with the referee. I mean, the way, if you're trying to, get through that and you push someone down, that's going to get called almost every time. Abraha wants to go up the line. Goes to Bourgeois, who has Nunez over on also down deeper on the channel. Good through ball here for Nigam. Bit too hard though, and it will be a throw in here for Hybrid. We just heard Coach Alex Cow from Maryland tell Abraha if he sees one more play like that, it seems that he's going to get taken off. He's got to be very careful. Almost lost in the box by Serrano. Shade is starting to play a factor a bit. Cohen, looks like it might have been a handball. No, they're just going to say a throw in here. Carbajal didn't turn on the Jets good enough, so it's going to fall. But here's Gaynor. Lost out initially. Regained by Santos. Pizzoki over on the left side. He's going to turn on the Jets. Maybe his fresher legs compared to most of these guys on the field are going to help. It's not in that instance. 1-1 our score here as we are in stoppage time. We're wondering how much time we're going to get. Throw in taken interestingly by Kevin Santos. Here's Pizzoki, who switched over all the way to the right side, and he is pushed down in a foul called against William Cohen. The flag came up, and he's got to be careful. But this is a good opportunity here for a set-piece chance for Hybrid FC. Maybe they have a little bit of a hidden arsenal in them in set-piece FC. We will find that out in just a second. Free kick will be taken by Randy Salvador from about the 8-yard line if this was American football. It's literally right on the hash mark. Whistle blows. Salvador with an out-swinging ball. Originally, it looked like there was an offside on that play. The ball is headed down and into the gloves of Salazar. And that is halftime here. So looks like they're just going to try to play keep up in terms of the time and trying to catch up with maybe the other games that are in this conference, just standings-wise, because this is the final match day of the season. So with that in mind, it is 1-1 thanks to goals from Nisi Brown for Hybrid FC And a goal just a few moments ago by Ethan Hayward for Maryland Bobcats. This is the UPSL DMV North Conference on DMV Sports Media. We'll see you back for the second half. Welcome back to modestly damp, I would say, Columbia, Maryland. Josh Sager here with you. Donna Wallace on the camera. Happy to have you along for the ride as Hybrid FC and Maryland Bobcats are even at 1 after a quick halftime. We had a bit of a rain delay at the 32nd minute, so halftime was going to be short. 4 substitutions have already been made for the Bobcats, so Ben Dunkerley, Ebenezer Abraha, Bernardin Bourgeois, and William Cohen's days are all done. And that it will introduce new players. Those are Tyler Alstead. Sorry, I'm just looking at the rosters real quick. Gabriel Strandazon, Bodhisattva Wardrobe, and Israel Abdullah are all on. Oh, no, looks like also a brand new goalkeeper too. Yes, sir, Johnny Hudson is in as well. So 5 substitutions already for the Bobcats here in the second half. It will be Maryland to kick us off. And away we go as Adam Yatribi kicks us into play. 45 minutes down, 45 to go. Here in the spring 2026 UPSL season as Wormley already has to come off his line. Abdullah already causing havoc as that one's going to be kicked out of play by Serrano. It will be out for a corner kick for the Bobcats almost immediately. Actually, pardon me, it looks like there was also a substitution for Hybrid. Yes, there was. Jason Astudillo is now on. Trying to figure out who came off in this game. Not fully cleared. Kicked back into the mixer, and it's in! Israel Abdullah immediately off the bench. And it's already 2-1 Bobcats here in the second half of this game. Bodie Wardrobe, excuse me. We got help from a fan there. And immediately, substitutions making an impact for Alex Cow, and it's 2-1. Got a feel for Elijah Wormley there. There was nothing he could do with all those bodies in the box blocking his vision. But now the Bobcats are up 2-1 on the road. And Hybrid's chances of getting a single point are starting to look a little bit bleak. Alstead. To the outside, and now Wardrobe is going to be off. It's been a lot of times that we've seen Maryland be a little bit too eager tonight. Especially as the lights are going to start beaming up a little bit. Strand gets rid of it. We are hearing some Let's Go Bobcats chants over on the far side. A lot of Maryland fans that came on the trip to this stadium here in Columbia on the campus of Hammond High School. Bodie Wardrobe, a native of Arlington, Virginia, out of Washington Liberty High School. And already a free kick here for the Bobcats, and they want to try taking control, but the ball kept rolling. And Gabriel Strand will receive it on the back pass. Good switch of the field now for Israel Abdullah. Gets to the ball first with Astudillo on him. He's going to serve one in the box, and almost getting to it was Yatribi. Was just extended out in front of him. But it will be a goal kick here for Bobcat, or for Hybrid. We got, speaking of Hybrid, they're going to have 2 substitutes coming on. Edwin Pereira will be making his season debut as well. And I'm going to figure out the last one in a sec. Is a nice cross here. Wardrobe tried again, but That one is blocked. And it will go out for a Maryland corner. Actually, Obi Ekeagwu has not been on the field at all this game, so we're going to have to figure out who I've been mistakenly identifying him with. Because he will be coming on right now. But it's the end of the night for two hybrid players. We'll figure those out in a sec. Looks like Gio Serrano is one of them. And the other, I think, is Kevin Santos. Yes, it is Kevin Santos. So a cross to come in here. Onto the box. What a save off the line by Nick Pizzoki. That one's going to go out of play, and it was offside anyway. And a yellow card shown in the direction, I believe, of Obi Ekeagwu, who just came on. So we're just waiting for the referee to say things are okay before we can continue. I believe Obi Ekeagwu just went into the book for dissent. So he's now got to be very careful. Wormley is going to take it short again, goes to Rivas. Didn't dispose of it all that cleanly, and it's going to go out of play. Throw in here for Maryland. Now it switches over to hybrid because it did take a deflection. At first glance, I thought that it did. Alstead. Great steal, and now Pizzoki has to regain possession, but it just falls right back to Tyler Alstead. Outside Abdullah was offside. Oh, and William Cohen, by the way, is still on, so I got that number wrong. I'm going to figure out who he came on for. Or who was taken off, excuse me. Stolen away by Jossian. Wardrobe got around his slide tackle. Nice fake the pass out to Abdullah, who crossed one in and out of the reach of Ethan Hayward. Bodie Wardrobe has started to create a lot of pandemonium right now for this hybrid defense. They don't know how to contain him right now. And it's really fancy footwork like that last play there that's going to just make him a menace tonight. A little forward. Cohen trying to keep it in play is going to be a bit too late. And it's going to go out. We're just going to wait for Hunter Hines to bring it back in here for a throw-in. Taken away again. Here's Headley. Looking for an option. Yatribi is there. Tries to cross one in, and it hits off the post. They're saying actually it might have hit a player on Maryland because there is someone down right now. That might be Adam Yatribi. He is down inside of that netting that goes behind the cage. And the Bobcats are really asking for a foul here because Yatribi went down hard. Oh, and it looks like the other player that came off was Juan Nunez, so That would explain why Cohen is still out there. Both teams right now have been quite dissatisfied tonight with the refereeing performance. I thought, honestly, that looks like a pretty clean tackle that just had an unfortunate ending to it. That's also the defender bias that I had from high school. Here's a pass. The through pass to Abdullah was just not really well done. Wormley launching into the air and puts it into the defensive zone. This is the first time I think we've seen the ball in the half of the Bobcats for a good bit. The outside for Abdullah, got there, and he lays it down. Good through ball there from one of the substitutes as Wormley almost came out of his box. And Ryan Lim, by the way, with a nice setup there earlier. And now Wormley needs a second. Wonder if maybe he got stepped on for a quick sec. It's a long ball forward. Only hits Derek Jossian. Salvador regains possession for Hybrid. He's going to go out of play, and here comes a Bobcat throw-in. So there's going to be a new goalkeeper coming on. Jairo Caceres will be replacing Elijah Wormley, it looks like, after that big dump and that big spill that he just took, and Wormley is limping off a little bit. So we're going to be waiting a couple seconds here for Elijah Wormley to come off and Jairo Caceres to get into the net. So both teams have had a goalie substitution. Reggie Gaynor just asked his teammates, why are we so deep? Lim decides to go back to the middle for Jossian. Strand. That long ball forward didn't go far. It only got to Astudillo. That one goes off of, and they're going to say it went off of Abdullah, and it will be a throw-in for Salvador, who takes it quickly. Hit the head of Gabriel Strand. Cohen. Alstead looking to switch the field now. Wardrobe, tried to be a little bit too fancy. And the through pass from Ferdinand Bourgeois was a bit too lackadaisical. Elijah Wormley just now getting to the scorer's bench. He seems to be limping a little bit. Wonder if he took a cleat maybe to the knee. Hunter Hillis. Down from Lim, and here is Strand. Back out to the right back. Through ball intended for a tree beat. No one got to it. Caceres will look to restart something here for Hybrid, who have started to go a little bit quiet. This has become a pattern, in my opinion. We'll get back to that thought in a second. Here is Wardrobe looking for support. He's got Ekeagwu on him, crossing one in. Headed away by Hillis. But this has become a pattern a bit for Hybrid FC. As soon as they start going down, things don't really seem to have momentum shifts for them. And it's been one of the main factors on how they haven't had a single point this season. It seems like one thing goes wrong and everything else will follow. On the other side, though, Maryland has looked really good this second half. You got to wonder what Coach Cow is telling them they got to do in order to take a lead here. They were very lucky to get that first goal, especially with the long rain delay that we did have. Salvador. Rivas sending one forward. Onside there was Carbajal. He lost out. And a foul committed by Brown on William Cohen, and he's got to be careful. Brown also already has a yellow, I believe. Free kick will be taken by Gabe Strand. Decides to take it short, goes to Jossian and back to Strand, but that was a bad idea. Reggie Gaynor almost had Nisi Brown on a breakaway, but Strand was able to intervene before anything was possible. They're saying that it hit the shoulder, the ref is saying that it hit the shoulder of Randy Salvador, and I honestly think that probably was in a natural position. Good backheel pass by Carbajal, but nothing is going to come out of that. Hayward now turns on the afterburners, but Hunter Hillis deposits it away. We are in the 60th minute, 30 minutes to go plus stoppage here in Columbia, Maryland, on a match that these two teams are just looking to get some points to end the season on a high note. Right now, Hybrid FC is down 2-1 here at home. Still looking for just 1 point, let alone a win. Not the smartest moves there from number 23 for Maryland, that being Ryan Lim. And for Wardrobe, good parry by Caceres. Still not completely clear. Lim. Completely caught Salvador off guard. Here's Abdullah, who's onside. Abdullah, good block by the Stonewall Caceres. And the flat, it's going to be a goal kick. Actually, they're going to call this a corner, I believe. Yes, they are, and it's going to be taken by Ferdinand Bourgeois. Not the cleanest corner, and honestly, that really had no chance of getting into the box, and it's cleared out of the way for a throw-in for the Bobcats. Sun is setting quite beautifully over here on the left side of the field. It's what happens when you get these big storms and then the sun starts to really clear up. You get these really beautifully colored sunsets, and you get very rare hues of pink and orange.
Not to mention the temperature drop. That's definitely helping out the players as well as us.
Yeah, the temperature drop, as my cameraman just said here, has been phenomenal. And I like also the fact that it's not too cold, but it's not too hot either. But it is a little bit humid, which isn't great, but you can handle this is at like the level of humidity that you definitely can handle. Let's see if Hybrid can handle this, but it's going to be a foul called here against Brown. Free kick in a good place now for Maryland. They're up 2-1. I'd like to really make things a little bit catastrophic for Hybrid if you were a Bobcat fan. Free kick will be taken by Bourgeois. It's a in-swinger into the box, headed just wide by Jossie, and he was offside. Ferdinand Bourgeois, a DC native out of Gonzaga College High School. Really good, for those of you who aren't from the area, that's a really, really good high school in the nation's capital. Alstead gets it into an open avenue. Turned over, though. Pizzoki looking for Nisi Brown here on the near side. He takes over from Gabe Strand, and that one's poked away. Good through ball here for Bodie Wardrobe. He's looking for options. Doesn't have any immediate support, and he loses it to Oliver Rivas, who has to clear it and almost took a bit too much time, but eventually got it to Salvador. Pizzoki. Back to the Glendale, Maryland native. And now Brown is going to be offside, so there was no reason that Johnny Hudson had to come out of his box. Free kick taken quickly by Cohen. Switches to the far side, Bourgeois. Hines. Playing a little bit of ping pong with Carbajal. Alstead to Cohen, back to Strand. Lim goes back to his new center back partner. Hudson had Gaynor on him and just got rid of it eventually. And we will have another sub coming in now for hybrid event in the next few moments. I believe that is, if I'm looking at the roster correctly, I'm going to guess that that is Marvin Del Cid that is about to come on. Astudillo was blocked by Gaynor. It's out for a, I would assume that's a Bobcat throw in, and we're going to see a yellow card here. Shown to head coach Bruno Taj of Hybrid FC, who has been very irritated with some of the refereeing decisions tonight. And it's going to be a Bobcat throw-in. Actually, it's going to be a hybrid throw-in for Salvador. I thought that went off of a hybrid player, but it turns out not. Pizzoki. Astudillo tried to switch the field, and that was not the right pass. Wardrope gets a free ball, basically. Alstead to the outside for Bourgeois. Good tackle. Switching the field, intending to get that ball out to Reggie Gaynor. Couldn't get it there. Ekeagwu ran into Alstead and is still going to have possession here. Nisi Brown got up in a traffic jam. But Ekeagwu will escape a fender bender. It's going to go out of play and a throw in for the Bobcats. Substitute coming on now for hybrid. This will be Marvin Del Cid. Looks like that's the end of the night potentially for Randy Salvador. And from what it looks like, Elias Rosenthal is getting ready to come onto the game. We'll get back to that in a sec. Wardrobe could not keep that in play. Yeah, Randy Salvador's night is done. He's been really good tonight for hybrid. But it looks like they want to give him a little bit of rest here with about 22 minutes remaining. One bounces high into the air for Gaynor. Looking to get around his defender, Strand, and Gaynor turns on the speed. Here comes Reggie Gaynor, and he completely mishit that. Hit that with the underside of the foot, and Elias Rosenthal is about to come on for the Bobcats. That was the breakaway chance that hybrid really would have loved to have capitalized on. But Elias Rosenthal is getting ready to come on for the Bobcats. It looks like they're going to have another sub too. That would be Jacob Brand. Outside, a little bit of a soft pass out there. And now it's going to be two subs coming on. Rosenthal and Brand are in for the Bobcats. We'll figure out who is coming off in a sec. Derek Jossian is done for the night. So that's who Elias Rosenthal is going to be coming on for. And then Jacob Brand. Looks like we might be waiting a little bit longer for Brand's substitution. That is going to go out of play. Throw in for Maryland. And now Brand will be coming on. It'll be a new midfielder. They're asking for a new ball. Brand didn't play collegiately, but he did play at the club level for University of Maryland. 20 minutes to go plus stoppage here in the final match day of the spring UPSL regular season here in the DMV North. Both of these teams know they're out. They're just playing strictly for points. Now the fourth official is delaying some proceedings here. We got to wonder what this is about. Long throw and taken by Bourgeois. Excuse me, by Rosenthal, one of the new subs. Abdullah could not stay on. That wouldn't have been onside anyway. Taken away now by Brand, and now he's got Israel Abdullah by himself. Abdullah crossing one across, and what a shot and what a goal! Oh, are they saying it's offside? Interesting. They're calling Bodie Wardrobe offside on that. Or did... Wow, Caceres actually saved that off the line. Holy. What a save by Jairo Caceres. I thought that was in. My eyes deceive me once again. Now, Hayward goes back to Abdullah. They're looking to set up another chance. Hayward has the speed to reach that ball. Hillis. Hayward cutting it across. The glance for Abdullah. It's heavy touch and off to the crossbar from Israel Abdullah. That one I think everyone saw. Brand to the outside for Bourgeois. To the outside. Lim goes to Hayward. That wasn't fully cleared. And now it is. And Reggie Gaynor is just going to have to watch that ball go right to Johnny Hudson's foot. Lim. Interesting chip pass there from Lim, and Maryland almost was the benefactor of it. We've got a player limping right now. I believe that is Ostadia. And a handball called against Hybrid. Ostadio is down on the ground. And the referee, I don't think, noticed that at first because the fourth official has been pointing this out. Waiting for another ball to get over here. Things are getting testy as now a breakaway for Hayward. Even Hayward already had one, missed one earlier. And he's pushed down now from behind on the He's actually going to be the one called for the foul for a dive. Eke Agwu. Del Cid. Cleared by Rivas. Got to figure that Maryland is probably going to get a third at some point. They're already creating a lot of opportunities in this match, and we do know that once goals start to fall for teams against hybrid, they start to come in bunches. But Maryland has not been the best at scoring this season either. Still trying to figure things out for next year, for next season in the fall. Long ball forward for Abdullah, and that's going to be offside. I do think Reggie Gaynor was keeping him on there for a second, but it seems that he was not. Rivas goes back to the forward, converted to a center back. Stoppage of play, it seems. Oh, this must just be where the offside occurred, so they just had to wait and have to retake the kick. Gaynor launching a ball forward. It's going to be a bit too far for any teammate of his to get to. – 14 minutes to go. Last quarter of an hour and a half. Hillis almost put down there, and Brown gets to watch as Hudson inhales that ball in. Lights are coming on and are having a little bit of an effect, which is a good sign. Someone went off of the head of Astudillo, out for a throw in here for the Bobcats. Ryan Lim will be the one to take it. And the fourth official, it looks like, might have a word in a second here with the referee. He's been getting a lot of verbal talk back from the coach of hybrid. Wonder what this is about. Lim, throw in, chested down by Hayward. Goes back to Rosenthal to the outside for Bourgeois. Long ball forward. Taken down by Yatribi, and now Abdullah into a body. Could have been the third goal and the one that puts this thing to bed. With about 12 minutes to go. Hybrid looking just to salvage at least something from this season. It's been a downhill year for the men in green. Del Cid launches a ball in the direction of the Maryland goal, and Nisi Brown is able to break past multiple defenders, but they're going to just send it back to Johnny Hudson, who has to clear it out of the way. Goes out of play for a throw-in here for the home side here in Columbia. Don't know if you can see just from the top of your screen the colors of the sunset coming up behind the stadium. It's a beautiful view here. Caceres. Maryland looking to just put this thing away with a third goal. Good backheeled pass there by Del Cid. Here's Pizzoki. Having to deal with and running into Jacob Brand. He was trying to get around the defender, Ryan Lim, excuse me. Free kick to be taken for hybrid. This is going to be by Rennie Carbajal, and he is hoping that Abdullah is going to back up. He gets his wish because the referee tells Abdullah he's got to back up. Long ball into the box, headed just wide of the net. Believe that might have been Nisi Brown who had his, or that was Reggie Gaynor that put that almost in the back of the onion bag and just headed it with a bit too much force, and as a result, it went wide. Caceres. Hybrid, they're just looking for opportunities to get a equalizing goal and maybe get 1 point in this match. And Nisi Brown was offside on that long pass forward from Caceres. Taken quickly by Lim. Bran, here's Tyler Alstead, and he is taken down harshly by Oliver Rivas. Smallest man on the pitch, Tyler Alstead. Kind of reminds me a little bit of me. I was one of the smaller kids on my high school team. Here comes Wardrobe cutting inside. Wardrobe spins around, not fully out of the box. Headley blocked by Pizzoki, and a save by Caceres on the shot by Lim. I mean, Jairo Caceres has had a really good night tonight. He's making some really, really quality saves. It was just like this, too. Again, also, last week, he just had some really, really unfortunate breaks and some defensive mistakes by members of his backline. There's a push in the box, and looks like Maryland is trying to draw a penalty here. They're not going to do so, and it looks like a card might be shown. And if so, it would be shown to Yatribi. No foul given, and the corner, which we will be waiting for in just a second, will be taken by the shortest man, Alstead. This could be the one that puts it away. Cross comes in, evades every head. Looks to get back in the box. Oh, and Alstead just missed the volley. I wonder, though, if that was going to go into the net or not. And that would have been the insurance goal that Maryland would have probably needed to be able to take away 3 points tonight on the final night of the season. With about 8+ stoppage left. Gabriel Strand sends it forward. Ekeagwu says it's his ball, and it is. They're going to have to retake the throw-in because of how long it took for the assistant referee to say whose ball it was. It's actually Maryland's ball, so. That one goes out of play. Nisi Brown will be the one to take, and looks like the fourth official was trying to say that Nisi had to take it a bit more deep, but he is going to be overruled. Ekeagwu gets blasted there by Bran, and it's offside there on Pizzoki. Overall, I would have to think that Coach Cow has been really impressed with his performance, especially his team's performance, especially in the second half. Bodie Wardrobe has been an absolutely incredible substitution tonight. He's been creating a lot of chances, got the goal that's given Maryland the lead. And it's just been a thorn in the side tonight for this hybrid backline that has just been getting no help whatsoever from its attack to give him some reprieve. Hines, and now Wardrobe has to beat out Amaya here. Gets around the defender. Here's Bodie. Wardrobe! Good save by Caceres. Another corner for the Bobcats, and once again, it's that man, Bodie Wardrobe, who's just been phenomenal tonight. About 5 minutes plus stoppage remaining in both of these teams' seasons. Corner will be taken by Bourgeois.
They've been doing really good at setting up. We'll see how they follow through.
My apologies, that's actually Yatribi who's going to be taking this. As my cameraman Dono just said, they've been doing a really good job at setting up. It's just about following through. That's basically been the entire story tonight in this second half. Yatribi with an in-swinging ball that was a bit over everybody's head, and it's going to go out for a Maryland throw-in after it was headed out of play by Reggie Gaynor. Turned into quite a beautiful night here tonight. Lim goes back to Strand, and they're just going to reset here. Abdullah. Here's Alstead. Almost getting dispossessed was Jacob Brand. Strand got pushed from behind by Ekeagwu. Hudson deposes it into the attacking side for Maryland. Wardrobe ran into the wall that is Oliver Rivas. Regained by Hayward. Here's Jacob Brand to the outside for Hayward. He's going to try cutting into the box. Ball is kicked out of play by Hillis for a corner kick for Maryland. They're going to have another chance on a set piece. 3 minutes plus stoppage remaining. Can Maryland get that third goal to seal the deal and get 3 points? 3 being the magic number here. Alstead to take the corner. Got only 6 players in the box for the Bobcats. Good cross in, headed back into the mixer. Not going to be received by the Bobcats. E.C. Brown is on top of Ryan Lim, but Lim is going to just go back to his keeper. Hudson is really far out, and he's been out this basically out of the box this entire half. And if Maryland can do if Hybrid can do anything, then Maryland is going to be punished severely. And offside here is called against, I believe that's on Israel Abdullah. Coach Alex Cow is is not happy with the assistant referee here. Again, both coaches in this match have not been thrilled with the refereeing performance of these officials. But a win here on the road would be the first and only win this season for the Bobcats. On the road. They've already got one, and that came at home against Hybrid, and now a foul is called on the throw-in. Free kick to be taken by Amaya into the air. Alstead locked into a battle with Gaynor. He's pushed down, and a free kick here for Hybrid. Could this be the opportunity for them to get the tying goal? Kick will be taken by Obi Ekeagwu. Pardon me, that's Reggie Gaynor, actually. Just waiting for the whistle to be blown. Whistle is blown and swinging ball in, and it's headed wide by Hillis. That was the opportunity for the captain of this Hybrid FC side to make a statement for the home side, but ball was just hit too wide and not with enough power for it to find its way back into the net. So Johnny Hudson goes to the outside. That might have been the wrong decision because it was out of play and over Hayward's head before it came down on the arc. Less than 10 seconds remaining of regulation time. Hybrid, can they find just one more goal? Carbajal gave it away. Now Wardrope. Great tackle by Rivas. Given away. Here is Reggie Gaynor. Gaynor's going to take it himself and scores! Reggie Gaynor might just have salvaged Hybrid's first point of the year with an absolute banger! I mean, there's nothing there that the goalkeeper Hudson can do about that with the amount of power and speed that that thing is hit with. And at the death, Hybrid FC might now have their first point of the season. And if you're Maryland, that is a disappointing blow. It's Abdullah. And they're saying that Abdullah was the one who committed the foul and that he was simulating. I thought at first that looks like Rivas was pulling him from behind. And Abdullah is not happy with that call. Right into the stomach of Alstead. Pizzoki sends it forward, but he didn't have any teammates in its direction. Caceres disposes it into the attacking end for Hybrid. This is going to be a crazy finish. Let's see if somebody can score a winning goal. Gaynor, who scored the tying goal. Could he try for it from outside the box again? Spins around, still has possession. Reggie Gaynor, is he going to do it himself? He's put down. And is that a penalty? And now they're saying the foul was outside the box. That is crazy. I thought that was in the box.
You thought it was in the box too, right? Right, announcer?
I thought it was outside the box.
But it must have been at that point where it's like literally right on the line, and if it's on the line, they can't call it. It has to be completely over the line. Cross comes in, almost put in, and Hudson had to react. And that is how this game comes to an end. An exciting ending tonight as Hybrid FC will claim a point, something that they had gone without the entire season with. For Maryland Bobcats, this feels like a massive 2 points dropped, and that is not the way that they wanted to end the season, but that is going to do it for us. The playoff spots have now been locked, basically. Just going to find out the seeding soon between MSI Pro, Moco 1776, Bridge Sports Club, the former sister club of Maryland Bobcats, and Bowley's Athletic. And you can watch any of those other two games currently on DMV Sports Media. We know that Bowley's had a bit of a rain delay. We don't know about MSI Pro. We don't know if MSI Pro and Moco had a rain delay, but we do know that Bowley's and Bridge had one, so they should still be playing here. But that is going to do it for us here for the final time on the regular season of the spring season. For my cameraman, Donna Wallace, and our entire DMV Sports Media family, this is Josh Sager bidding you